Welcome to the AnzenGuard Podcast, everybody. I'm Michael Reynolds.
And I'm Laura Wilson.
And we are ready for another deep dive.
Absolutely.
Today, we're going underground. We're talking VPNs.
Yeah, virtual private networks.
Now, I got to admit, I used to think VPNs were, I don't know, for super techie people or people trying to hide something.
Right. It's kind of like the shady aura around them sometimes.
Yeah, a little like back alley, dark web kind of vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I started reading about how popular they are.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. Like in some countries, it's like 20% of people are using a VPN.
It's super common.
That's wild. So that got me thinking, maybe there's more to these VPNs than meets the eye.
Yeah, they're not just for, like, the tech elite anymore. They're for everyday folks. Journalists use them, gamers use them.
Gamers?
Yeah.
What do they use them for?
So some online games can be region-locked. Or some gamers might use them to protect themselves from what are called DDoS attacks.
Sure. DDoS attacks.
Yeah, it stands for Distributed Denial of Service. Basically, it's like a cyber attack that tries to overload your connection and kick you offline.
Oh, wow. So a VPN can help protect against that.
It can add an extra layer of protection, yeah.
That's interesting.
And you know what else? People use them for streaming.
Streaming? Really? Like Netflix and stuff?
Exactly. Have you ever tried to watch a show and it says, sorry, this content is not available in your region?
Oh, all the time.
A VPN can help you bypass those restrictions.
So it's like you can trick Netflix into thinking you're in a different country.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
You're connecting to a server in another country, so it appears as if you're browsing from there.
So you can watch all those shows everyone's talking about, even if they're not officially available where you are.
Exactly.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So maybe VPNs are more like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like a Swiss Army knife of the internet.
I like that.
You've got all these different tools and uses.
Exactly.
But before we get all excited about the possibilities, let's back up a bit and answer the fundamental question, what is a VPN?
Right. We got to start with the basics.
You got to decode this thing.
Okay. So VPN stands for Virtual Private Network.
Yeah, we know that.
But what does that actually mean?
Right, in plain English.
Okay. So think of the internet as like a giant highway
Okay, I'm picturing it.
with tons of cars, data zipping around.
Lots of traffic, different lanes, maybe a few speed traps.
Exactly. Now imagine you want to send a super secret message.
Ooh, intrigue.
You wouldn't just broadcast it on the highway for everyone to see, right?
No way.
You'd want a private, secure way to get that message to its destination.
I'd want like a secret tunnel or something.
Exactly. And that's essentially what a VPN does. It creates a private, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet.
So instead of my data cruising down the main internet highway, it's taking this secret underground route.
Precisely. And that's where the private in virtual private network comes in.
Okay, private, I get it.
Yeah.
But what about virtual?
Good question. It's virtual because it's all software-based. You're not physically digging a tunnel. You're creating this secure connection using a VPN app.
Gotcha. So it's like building a digital fortress around my online activity.
You got it.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal here. So my data is traveling through this secure tunnel, but how does that actually protect it? What's the magic ingredient?
Encryption. It's like scrambling your data into an unreadable code before it even enters the tunnel.
Ooh, like a secret code.
Exactly. So even if someone were to intercept your data along the way, they wouldn't be able to make sense of it without the key to decode it.
So it's like sending a message in a foreign language that only the recipient can understand.
That's a great analogy. And the VPN server at the other end of the tunnel has that key, so it can decrypt the data and send it on to its intended destination.
Uh-huh. So my data travels incognito through the tunnel, gets decoded at the other end, and then continues on its merry way, as if it had never taken the secret route.
That's pretty much it. And to make things even more private, VPNs also mask your IP address.
IP address, that sounds familiar, but...
Yeah, it's like your digital fingerprint.
Okay.
It can reveal a lot about you, like your location, your internet service provider.
Oh, so by hiding my IP address, I'm basically making it harder for anyone to track my online movements or build a profile of my browsing habits.
Exactly. It's like wearing a disguise online, making it much more difficult for advertisers, trackers, or even hackers to identify and target you.
Okay, so VPNs help keep our online activity private and anonymous.
They do.
We talked about how they can help you access content that's blocked in certain countries too, right?
Absolutely. Remember how we talked about VPNs being like those secret tunnels?
Mm-hmm.
Well, those tunnels can also lead you to different parts of the world, virtually speaking.
So, like, If I wanted to watch a show that's only available in, say, the UK, I could use a VPN to connect to a server in the UK.
Yep.
And it would be like I'm browsing from there.
You got it. It's like teleporting your device to another country, allowing you to bypass those pesky geographic restrictions.
Okay, that opens up a whole world of possibilities for streaming and entertainment.
It does. And in some countries with strict internet censorship, VPNs can be crucial for accessing blocked websites and social media platforms, too.
So it's not just about fun and games, it's also about freedom of information and accessing different perspectives.
Exactly. VPNs can play a vital role in empowering people to stay informed and connected no matter where they live.
This is all starting to make a lot more sense now. VPNs, they're like the guardians of our online freedom and privacy.
I like that. They're becoming essential tools for navigating the digital world safely and securely.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the why of VPNs. But how do they actually work in practice? Take us on a journey through the VPN tunnel. Break down the process step by step.
All right, let's do it. Imagine you're sending that super secret message again. First, your device connects to a VPN server, which could be located anywhere in the world.
So the VPN server is like the other end of our secret tunnel.
Exactly. Now, before your data even enters the tunnel, the VPN encrypts it, transforming it into that unreadable code we talked about.
So it's like putting our message into a secret language that only the VPN server can understand.
Precisely. This encrypted data then travels through the secure tunnel to the VPN server.
And what happens to the VPN server? Does it have like a secret decoder ring?
You could say that. The server decrypts the data, restoring it to its original form, and then sends it on to its intended destination, whether it's a website, a streaming service, or another online platform.
So our message travels incognito through the tunnel, gets decoded at the other end, and then continues on its way as if it had never taken the secret route.
That's the beauty of it. To anyone observing your internet traffic, it would appear as if you're browsing from the location of the VPN server, not your actual location.
Wow, it's like having a digital double browsing the internet on our behalf.
Exactly. And because all your data is encrypted, even if someone intercepts it along the way, they wouldn't be able to make sense of it.
So VPNs offer a powerful combination of privacy, anonymity, and security.
They do. And as we become more reliant on the internet for everything from communication to banking to entertainment, protecting our online activity is more important than ever.
You know, when we started talking about VPNs, I had no idea they were so versatile and powerful.
It's true. They're becoming essential tools for navigating the digital world safely and securely.
This has been incredibly insightful. But hold on, before we get too deep into the technical weeds, I've heard there are different types of VPNs, right? Not all VPNs are created equal.
You're absolutely right. There are different flavors of VPNs, each designed for specific purposes and needs.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Definitely not. We have personal VPNs, which are perfect for everyday users who want to protect their online privacy and security while browsing the web, checking email, shopping online, or using public Wi-Fi.
So if I'm just going about my daily online routine, a personal VPN would be a good choice.
Absolutely. Then we have business VPNs, which are geared toward protecting company data and enabling secure remote work. Imagine you have employees accessing sensitive files or connecting to the company network from different locations.
A business VPN would create a secure tunnel for all that data, keeping it safe from prying eyes.
Exactly. It's like building a virtual private network for your company, even if your employees are scattered across the globe.
Okay, so we have personal VPNs for individuals and business VPNs for organizations.
Right. And there are other specialized VPNs like site-to-site VPNs, SSL VPNs, and more. But for most individuals, personal or business VPNs are the most common choices.
That makes sense. But with so many different VPN providers out there, how do we choose the right one? It's like trying to pick a favorite star in the night sky.
It can definitely feel overwhelming. But don't worry, we'll guide you through the key factors to consider when selecting a VPN. Stay tuned.
Okay, so how do we navigate this VPN jungle? Where do we even begin?
Well, you know, there are a few key things to look out for when you're choosing a VPN provider.
Okay, lay it on me. What are the must-haves?
Privacy is a big one, right? I mean, that's kind of the whole point of using a VPN in the first place.
Right, to keep our online activity, well, private.
Exactly. So you want to make sure the provider you choose has a strict no-log policy.
A no-log policy.
Yeah, it basically means they don't keep records of your online activity. What you do online stays online, you know?
So it's like having a digital shredder for your browsing history. Poof, it's gone.
That's a good way to put it. That way, even if someone were to demand the VPN provider hand over your data.
They wouldn't have anything to give.
Exactly. Your online activity is your business and nobody else's.
Okay, no log policy check. What else should we be looking for?
Server locations are important.
Server locations. Why does that matter?
Well, remember those geo restrictions we talked about? Like when you try to watch a show and it says not available in your region?
Yeah, the bane of my streaming existence.
Right. Well, if your VPN has servers in lots of different countries, you can basically bypass those restrictions.
So I could connect to a server in, say, the UK and unlock all that British TV goodness.
Exactly. Plus, if you're traveling, you can connect to a server back home and access all your usual websites and services.
The more server locations, the better.
Generally speaking, yes. It gives you more flexibility and options.
Got it. Server locations? Check. Now, I have to ask about speed. I don't want a VPN that's going to slow down my internet to a crawl.
Right. Nobody wants that. Speed is definitely a crucial factor.
So how can you tell if a VPN is going to be speedy or sluggish?
A lot of it comes down to the provider's infrastructure. They need to have robust servers and efficient protocols.
Protocols. Those sound kind of technical.
They are a bit, but basically they determine how the data is transmitted through the VPN tunnel. Some protocols are faster and more efficient than others.
So should I be looking for specific protocols when I'm choosing a VPN?
It can be helpful, yeah. OpenVPN and WireGuard are two popular protocols that are known for being pretty fast.
OpenVPN and WireGuard, I'll jot those down. Anything else on the speed front?
Well, your internet speed with a VPN can also depend on things like the distance to the server you're connecting to.
Right. So connecting to a server halfway around the world might be a bit slower than connecting to one that's closer to home.
Exactly. And the overall load on the server can affect speed too. If a lot of people are using the same server at the same time, it can get a little congested.
So like rush hour on the internet highway.
Kind of, yeah. But most reputable VPN providers work hard to optimize their servers and ensure decent speeds for all their users.
Okay, speed, check. Now let's talk money.
How much does a good VPN cost?
Well, they can range in price. Some are free.
Free. Sold.
Hold on, there's a catch. Free VPNs often come with limitations. They might have data caps, slower speeds, limited server locations.
And we talked about how some free VPNs might not be as secure or private as paid ones, right? They might even track your data and sell it to advertisers.
Exactly. So if you're really serious about your online privacy and security, it's generally worth investing in a paid VPN. Okay, so you get what you pay for, as they say. How much should I expect to shell out for a decent paid VPN?
Well, it varies, but you can usually find a good one for around, $5 to $10 a month.
Okay, that's not too bad. It's the price of a couple of fancy coffees.
Exactly. And a lot of providers offer discounts if you sign up for a longer subscription, like a year or two.
Okay, so it's worth shopping around and comparing prices.
Definitely. Don't just jump on the first one you see. Read reviews, compare features, and find one that fits your budget and your needs.
Solid advice. So we've covered privacy, server locations, speed, and cost. Anything else we should keep in mind?
Well, you want to make sure the VPN is compatible with all your devices, right?
Oh, right. I've got my phone, my laptop, my tablet. I don't want to have to juggle different VPNs for each one.
Exactly. So check if the provider offers apps for all the platforms you use. Most good VPNs will have apps for Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, you name it.
And some even have extensions for browsers, right? So you can use them directly within your browser.
Yep, that's another handy feature to look for. It can be a good way to add an extra layer of protection when you're browsing the web.
Okay, compatibility, check. Anything else? I know we touched on protocols briefly before.
Right, we talked about OpenVPN and WireGuard.
Yeah, for speed.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something about protocols being like blueprints for the VPN tunnel.
Exactly. They determine how the data is encrypted and transmitted. It's kind of like the language the VPN uses to communicate.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. So stronger protocols mean stronger security.
Generally speaking, yes. OpenVPN and WireGuard are both considered very secure and reliable.
OpenVPN and WireGuard, got it. Now what about this encryption thing I keep hearing about? That sounds pretty intense.
Encryption is basically what scrambles your data into that unreadable code, so even if someone intercepts it, they can't make sense of it. It's like putting your data in a vault.
A digital vault.
Exactly. And the stronger the encryption, the harder it is to break into that vault. You want to look for a VPN that uses AES 256 encryption. That's like the gold standard.
AES 256, I'm adding that to my list. It's like having a Fort Knox level security system for my data.
Exactly. It's the kind of encryption that governments and military organizations use.
Okay, now I'm feeling really secure. So protocols, encryption, compatibility, server locations, no log policy, speed, cost. I think I'm starting to get the hang of this VPN stuff.
You're doing great. It's a lot to take in, but it's all about finding the right balance of features and price that works for you.
This is all great information. But I have to admit, choosing a VPN still feels kind of daunting. Are there any resources or tools that can help us out?
Oh, absolutely. There are tons of websites and online resources that provide in-depth reviews, comparisons, and recommendations for different VPN services. They can really help you narrow down your options and find the perfect VPN for your needs.
So I don't have to go into this blindfolded. There are experts out there who can guide me through the process.
Exactly. And remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand about VPNs and how they work, the better equipped you'll be to choose the right one and use it effectively.
Okay, so we've picked our VPN. We're ready to roll.
Time to put all of this knowledge into action.
Let's do it. How do we actually get this thing up and running?
It's actually pretty straightforward.
Okay, good.
First things first, you got to sign up with the VPN provider you chose.
Right, the one that passed all our tests, no log policy, good speeds, all that.
Exactly. Once you're signed up, most providers will have you download and install their app.
And so it's pretty user-friendly.
Yeah, most VPN apps are designed to be pretty intuitive. They'll walk you through the setup process step by step.
Okay, cool. So I've got the app, it's installed. What's next?
Now you need to connect to a VPN server.
Ah, right, those server locations we were talking about.
Exactly. Your app will usually show you a list of available servers in different countries.
Okay, so if I want to watch that British show we were talking about, I would pick a server in the UK.
Exactly. Or if you just want general privacy and security, you can just choose a server that's geographically close to you.
Ah, so it'll be faster that way.
Yeah, usually. So once you've picked your server, you just hit that connect button and boom, you're tunneling through the internet.
It's that simple.
Pretty much. You can usually test your connection too, just to make sure everything's working properly.
Oh, right. How do you do that?
Most VPNs have an IP check feature.
So you can see if your IP address is showing up in the right location.
Exactly. If it matches the server you chose, you're good to go. You're browsing anonymously, your data's encrypted, you're all set.
This is pretty awesome.
It is pretty cool. But remember, even with a VPN, it's important to still be smart online.
Right. It's not a free pass to do whatever you want.
Exactly. You still want to be careful about what you click on, what you download.
Keep those passwords strong.
Absolutely. A VPN is a powerful tool, but it's not invincible. It's all about layering your security and being aware of the risks.
So it's a VPN is part of a balanced online security diet.
I like that analogy.
Well, this has been an amazing deep dive. I feel like I've learned so much about VPNs, from what they are to how they work to how to choose the right one.
It's been a fun journey.
It really has. And you know what? I'm actually feeling a lot more confident about my online privacy and security now.
That's great to hear. That's what we're all about here at AnzenGuard, empowering people to take control of their digital lives.
Well said. That brings us to the end of another deep dive here on the AnzenGuard Podcast.
We hope you enjoyed it.
I'm Michael Reynolds.
And I'm Laura Wilson.
And we want to thank you for joining us. If you learned something new today, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our future deep dives.
And don't forget to like, comment, and share this episode with your friends. Let's spread the word about online security.
Until next time, stay safe and stay informed out there in the digital world.